Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Shine On with Shauna. Woohoo! All about encouragement and looking deep in conversations and different aspects about it all, and also a little bit of recipes and also my crafts as well. But I hope you're doing well, people. I hope your day's going well. I don't know what it is for you in the world, what time, but I have a title on today what I would like to do, okay? Because it's very important, and I have a note about it because I marked it before. How to pick wisely who you hang out with. How to pick wisely who you hang out with. Because my friends, it's very important who you hang out with. Family, friends, acquaintances, etc. Okay? Because sometimes you need to know your worth to not tolerate people's gossip or go into it, and also complaining and whatever environment is not really good for you, because you need to be aware, my friends, to not put yourself in that predicament into what those people are doing and you're going to be going on and doing with them. You need to know your worth to stop and slow down and say, hey, I need to work on myself. Why am I allowing this? Why am I hanging out with certain people that don't make me feel good about me? One thing is you have to make yourself feel good first, because that's where knowing your worth is first. And then you will not tolerate anything, really. Once you know your worth, I have to say this. I know this. Once you know your worth, you won't tolerate anything, okay? You won't. You will walk away from circumstances, and you realize that those people are not for you right now because they don't know that they have the light in them and they're not shining on. And if they see you walking away and being the best version, maybe that'll plant the seed in them and they'll realize that, okay? But there's certain people who are toxic to us where we can't allow them in, where we have to have certain things where boundaries or let go of certain friends or whoever, because basically you need to know that if you're not treated right with family, friends, the workforce is very hard because sometimes you need to be there at the job, but you gotta be strong enough to understand it's not a reflection of you. It's just work. It's just a job. Don't take it in too much. Don't give it free rent, okay? It is toxic. Sometimes there's like workplaces there is toxic. Yes. And you know what? That has to stop. I don't know why. It has to stop, right? But we can't control everything, but we can control ourselves and what we allow and tolerate. And if you can, go to another job, okay? It's okay sometimes depart for certain things where you just don't want to be there anymore because of that environment. It's so toxic. Sometimes you have to save your mental health. You do. Your mental health is very important. Just like your mental health is very important in what you tolerate. And on that note, I'm having my water. I don't know what you guys have, but you know what? Water is really refreshing and it helps you. Cut up some fresh lemon, lime in the water. Oh, yes. Or cucumber water, you name it. Okay? It's good for your cleansing, your kidneys and everything. And it helps you. But anyway, your friends, if they're putting you down, laughing at you, constantly picking on you, they're not true. They're saying who they really are, and they don't have any much enjoyment and contentment in them. Why are you surrounding yourself in that? Why don't you know your worth? Why bother? You can't have everybody around you every time. There's certain people you have to say I can't be around. You have to save yourself and your mental health because it's very important. Put downs, shaming you, laughing at you, gaslighting you, manipulating, bullying you, pushing you to do things you don't feel comfortable or don't want to do. It could be with family. It could be with friends. It could be anybody. If you're tired and you just want to relax and have time for yourself, and they're pushing, harassing you to go out, let's go. Oh, come on, we never do anything, making you feel guilty. You need to question yourself. Do you really want to be around these people who are making you feel guilty every single time you want to look after yourself? You need to departure away from that because it's not serving you and it's not helping you for your mental health. And this is words of encouragement, and you got to pick people wisely who you want to be around, because it's more importantly than you can possibly imagine, my friends, because you are worth it and you need to watch your mental health because you need to shine on your light, and you don't deserve this kind of stuff what's going on around you. Okay, one day they'll see who they are. One day they will like realize that this is not good what I'm being, and I don't understand why people don't want to be around with me anymore too, or why am I doing this? Because it's like I don't like this. This is my programming. Is there something going on? It's like they're not broken. Okay, and I'm trying to make you aware that you don't need to put up with these kind of people anyway. They're not broken. Nothing's wrong with them. It's just that you need to be aware and watch yourself, because if you don't know your worth, it's very easy to go into anything. It's very easy to take any toxic relationship, family, anything. It's very easy for listening to them to laugh at you and just you're taking it in and you're not even doing anything about it and you're not even standing up for yourself. That is not good. You gotta pick wisely who you hang out with. You really need to be aware who you pick in your life and who you want in your chapter of your life. You write the book. No one else can tell you. You write the chapters in your life, because certain people in your life in this time period, they're not ready to be with you yet. Don't give them your energy. Don't devote your time too much with them, because they're wasting your time and they're also wasting theirs by acting like that and not being aware that they need to change their programs or behaviors or whatever. They can't go on like that, because eventually things fall apart. Relationships in their lives with their husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, friendships, etc. Eventually it's all going to fall and they're going to wonder. Because it does. Because toxic people, and there's sometimes people who are sick of being just mean. I don't like saying that, but I heard that before, and I like to believe that everybody's not out there to be mean to people for no reason. I just feel that hurt people do hurt people. There is a such thing as that sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it's still a little myth about that, but that's probably true in the cases, I guess. But the fact is, you need to know who you want to be with. The people have to, if you feel like you have to fight to know that you exist, that's questionable. Why you want to be with them? Don't be with them. Because if they feel that you have to prove your worth to them, basically, why be with them? Why? Lay low. Cut ties for a bit. Don't talk to them a lot. Don't do much with them. Maybe talk with them once in a while. Phone call, email, text. But don't have to hang out with them. They're not ready. And maybe one day they will be, and then they can hang out with you and things will be healthy connections, and you'll feel, you'll feel like you know that you're okay with them and your mental health is okay. You're like safe with these people because it's not affecting your mental health. That's what I'm saying. Because really picking people who you hang out with is very important. If a friend is constantly like saying, you're never with me, you always do this, you're always with other people, they're jealous. They could be with other people too, okay? Or they could just tag on with you with those other friends. Why they feel like they have to have you just to yourself? That's a lot of insecurities and they need working on, okay? And also they could be jealous. That can be really toxic if you have a friend like that. You got to be careful and aware. And if they can come and go in and out of your life continuously and not be there for the hard times too, you got to question that. That's red flags there. That's with family, that's with friends, but not acquaintances much, because they're just acquaintances for a reason, right? So it could be family, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, right? Friends. I mean, people don't just brush you off because you're going through hard times, okay? They shouldn't. I don't care if they're going through a hard time themselves, okay? That's where you actually should pull in together and help one another out. That's called supporting. And no one should be laughing behind your back. If you hear stories about someone says about you, you got to question that. Why you want that person in your life? And also, plus, you got to question it. If somebody else is like talking about others to you, or they have a friend, they're talking about their friend to you and not a good way and making fun or whatever, sometimes it's okay to talk about certain things if you're concerned. That's different. I'm talking about this way, where if they're talking about that individual to you, don't think twice. They're talking about you to others as well. Because if they're gossiping behind those people's backs, who are supposed to be so-called friend or a good family member or whatever, if they're doing it too, they're doing it to you too. So think about that twice, okay? It's toxic. It's not healthy. Because, and if they're making up stories behind your back to others about you just to not, for you to have anybody in your life or have you have anybody, that's toxic. You don't need that. You don't need that person in your life who's stirring up some crap or saying, not nice things about you when it's not even true because they don't feel good about themselves. It could be a family, a sibling. It can be anybody. You know what? Stay away. Sometimes you need to stay away from that because you got to save yourself and save your mental health because that's not cool. That's very toxic. Okay? Because you don't need that, my friends. I don't care if you're family. Family doesn't get a free pass for their behaviors. They don't get a free pass at all, my friends. I don't care. Oh, we're family, we're blood related. No. Let's cut that BS. I'm sorry, it's BS. No, they don't get a free pass. No one should treat you poorly, and you shouldn't have to be around them because, oh, we're family, we have to be around each other. No. Not for a bit, okay? You can still talk to them, lay low and talk to them, hang out once in a while, but not do so much things with them then, because they're like that. Because they're toxic to you. They're not helping you, your mental health. And you got to be aware, and I'm encouraging you, you don't have to have these things happen to you, okay? You do have to pick wisely, and hold on, I'm going to have water. You do have to pick wisely, my friends, because if you don't, you're just going to allow a lot of people to hurt you, walk over you. You're like a target. You're basically a target to all of them, whoever does these things to you. You don't have to go on fake nice and just pretend or whatever. Even if you're so nice, you don't have to pretend or take it in just because you're nice anyway. Okay? You don't have to. Just because you're a loving soul doesn't mean you have to tolerate this. You need to pick your surroundings, your environment, who you want in, and who you have to put a distance a little bit and boundaries up, okay? Because it's not healthy that way. If you're being treated like not right, you got to pick who you want. Because people who gossip, it never stops. It's like it feeds their ego, okay? They're complainers. They're just toxic. It just feeds their ego. It makes them feel good. And you don't need to be around that because it is draining and you don't have to be around it. You have a choice. You do have a choice. Don't say you have no choice. You have a choice, okay? You do. Because we all have choices. And whatever we do or whatever who we want to be around with, okay? We really got to put this clear that it's very important for our mental health that we pick wisely, okay? Pick wisely who you want to be with. Because sometimes childhood friends, we can't always have in our life because people do change, sometimes not for the better. Sometimes you got to let go of certain people because sometimes they're not always going for the better. We can just pray for them and realize, okay, I'm laying low. Or you go gray rock. I mean, sometimes you got to do these things to save yourself and your mental health. Not everybody is welcome to be in your life and they don't deserve you. Okay? Like, you need to know that certain friends have to be real. Okay? And they're always there. Even if they go through things. Okay? Even family. Family should be there always. I don't care, good or bad, and even when there's a loss. If someone passes away, even friends, if they know that someone passed away in your life, okay, they should be there still. Check up on you. If you have somebody who's check up on you and who actually is like showing an interest and loving and caring about you, oh, take it, because it's very hard nowadays to get that. Nowadays, I don't know what's going on with the world. It's lacking of that. People checking on each other. And you know what? You don't need it. And sometimes strangers come together and they turn to be friends or whatever. Like this community here I'm building. You know what? It's nice. I like meeting new people and friends, okay? And I want you to drop in the comment here to see if you like this content, what I'm saying. Because you do have to understand this. You got to pick wisely who you have. Because you do have to protect your mental health. I mean, it's exhausting. If you feel exhausted when you leave somebody, a family member or a friend, whoever, if you feel exhausted and drained being around them, okay, there's your answer. There's your answer. That's red flag. You don't have to be around them. You don't. You could just lay low, see them once in a while. It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? You need to shine your light much more. It's okay. You don't have to feel this way and drained. Because you don't have to, like, it's hard when you're a loving person. I get it. And you accept everybody. But you shouldn't accept bad behaviors. You shouldn't accept toxic, in your life. You shouldn't accept, like, people gossiping and complaining a lot. You shouldn't accept anything. Manipulation or bullying, like pushing you to do things you don't want to, or anything else. You shouldn't have to accept it just because they're your friend, family, or whatever. You shouldn't have to accept it. Pick wisely. Pick wisely. And pray for these people too. Because they're going off their program or whatever, or they're just trying to fit in, and because they don't feel like they want to not fit in anywhere and they're scared to be alone. Stop being a follower. And you don't need to be a follower. You can pull out of this. You don't have to tolerate anything like that. It's very important to understand this, because picking who you are with, it's very important. And sometimes it's hard when you're living with somebody. It is hard sometimes, but you need to also have space and talk with them and set some boundaries more too. Because it's very important for your health. It really is. Because there's certain people in our lives who are actually draining us, and we don't even realize it sometimes. There's fake nice, and you're wondering why they're being so nice, and you're thinking they're good. They come back and be sorry, and then after again, they're like buttering you up. Love bombing. Could be a boyfriend or girlfriend. It could be like friends or anybody, a family, and they're buttering you up, thinking everything's going to be good, and then it gets back to the same pattern. Okay? It's toxic. They go back to the same pattern, and after they say sorry and all that, they're buttering you up, and then after they go back to the same program of what they have in themselves, what they're projecting onto you. It's toxic for you. You don't deserve that. You need to pick wisely. You can't also save everybody. Okay? Some people have to save themselves. And unfortunately, it's the sad way, but we have to understand that. We can't always be there for everybody. We can pray for them. We can just lay low and plant seeds, but we need to shine our light more, because it's not how you shine your light, and you do need to know your worth, because then you won't put up with certain things, and you would stand up a lot to all this if you know your worth, because it is important to pick your battles, basically, and pick who you are with. It's really important. Okay? Hold on. I'm just saying here, like, think twice about this, my friends, because you are worth it. And if you don't know you're worth it, please check in with yourselves too, and realize you don't need to be treated this way, okay? And everybody doesn't deserve a free pass for what they do. Pick wisely, because you have to protect you. You have to protect your mental health. It's very important. Not everybody is, needs to be with you. Pick wisely. Pick wisely. Okay, if you have that gut feeling something's not right, it is. Listen to your first instinct. It never lies. Okay? That's the gut. That's the soul, your heart, the universe. Basically, all connection in you is telling you something. Never ignore it. Never ignore it. Okay, it's very important to listen to it. Because if you feel something not right with a certain person, it's true. Listen to it. Okay? Listen to it. Because it is true. It's telling you something. Don't ignore it. That's why I'm saying never ignore the signs. because that will guide you who you should have in your life and to help you pick wisely. Okay? Don't ever ignore the signs. Your instinct is everything. Your first vibe, never ignore. I never ignore mine. It guides me. The universe and the connections I have with it all. Oh my gosh, it guides me. It's always been there. It's a beautiful gift I have. And you have it in you too. Just be aware of it more. Okay? Don't ignore it. But I hope this helps a lot, because I do want to talk about this, because it's very important to pick certain people in your life, and you don't have to tolerate certain things. You don't. You need to stand up. You need to stand up to certain people, and you don't have to tolerate toxic stuff, okay? Like gossip, complaining, and all negative. It's just, talking about it, I get drained. I just don't like it. I just can't stand it, and I won't tolerate it myself. I watch. I tell. I'm like, that's enough if someone's really negative around me. It's like, that's enough. Enough. Is it making you feel better? No. I don't want to hear it. Or I'll just walk away, because it's like, yeah, I don't need it. And I pick what I want to hear, and I pick wisely who I want to hang out with more and more. I mean, I used to be like with everybody, but I'm like, no, Shauna. Now it's like, you may love and care, but not everybody should be welcome. You have to like stand up a lot more and have boundaries, which I'm learning about boundaries a lot more, and I'm getting better at that one. But really, you do. You have to, for yourself. It's self-love, okay? But I hope you like this topic. Let me know in the comments if you like hearing this, okay? And what you're going through. What do you have in your life? What's going on with you? If there's anything like this going on, of friends, family, whatever, leave in the comment. Share your story here about this all, whatever, okay? And we're not alone. I'm here. We're all here together. I'm building this YouTube channel for you not to feel alone. And don't worry, you're beautiful souls. And don't be hard on yourself because you allowed certain things or certain people in your life to treat you that way. It's okay. We're human just as much as them. Okay? Don't worry. Just how to pick wisely who you hang out with is very important, okay? So on this note, beautiful souls, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, whatever it is, and I hope you're good. And I hope you're shining your light, because you're worth it, you're enough, you're everything, and you matter, okay? So on that note, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Watch from the beginning to the end. And I appreciate the ones who have. I really do. I really do. And I hope you do pick wisely, because it's very important, okay? And you are enough. You are loved, okay? You deserve to watch for your mental health, because your mental health is everything, okay? So thank you for being here, and I appreciate you taking the time. And I know time's precious, as I'm doing here, but I really appreciate it. Thank you. And you are lovely souls, and don't you ever forget it. Okay. Shine on, my friends, and you got the light in you. Bye-bye.